What's going on, dudes? Thanks as always for tuning in to Multicade Mondays. I'm your host, PDubs, and guess what? We're going to be talking about all kinds of crazy things going on in the world of home arcades. It's been an insane weekend. There was this big Arcade1Up sales event, sample sale, charity drive over the weekend, and on top of that, starting yesterday and then today, Monday, they've gone nuts, man. All the retailers are cleaning out stock. They're getting ready for the new arrivals. We're going to talk about some of the best cabinet deals that we see out there. We're also going to talk about, our vendor of the week. Oh, sorry, I'm choking. SZABOS Arcades. We got something cool we want to show you. He's got coming out very soon. We're going to talk about these Capcom Legacy Multicades. Is PDubs just doing a hot take? Am I being too hard on them? Are those cabinets, Multicade cabinets, actually going to be worth the $500 price tag? We're going to talk about what's going on with me in Arcade1Up Mortal Kombat 30th. And then, of course, our main event tonight will be the iArcade Space Invaders cabinet. My review video was supposed to go live today, but then I found out that they were doing an update, which that update changes a few things in my review. So I had to go and I had to re-edit and trim my review, and then I'm waiting for the update. So either way, the full Space Invaders review on my channel for that cabinet will probably be published, I think maybe tomorrow, if not the next day. Either way, you're going to get it in the next couple of days, but I'm going to show you a lot of stuff under the hood, get your feedback, get your impressions, tell you what I'm liking about the cabinet so far, tell you what I'm not liking about the cabinet so far. It's kind of spoiling my review a little bit, but then again, it's Multicade Mondays, man. This is the kind of stuff we're supposed to talk about here. So, if you guys are ready for some fun, let me know you're here for Multicade Mondays. All right, as always, guys, I always kick off the show, see who's here in the live chat. Let's see who's here. We got Mitchell B is here. We always see Mitchell B. Welcome back. Gary is here as well. We got Papa Brad's Gaming. He is legit. And Papa Brad, if you're an iArcadian fan, Papa Brad's podcast show, The Arcadians, is making their triumphant return this week. Papa Brad, put the day and time in the live chat, because I forget what day and time. I think it's Thursday, but I forget what time. Let people know in the live chat. Juan Pereira's here. Doggy Dog is here. Danzy is here. Carl's here. Travis is here. AG is here. Goofy Foot. We freed Goofy Foot. Now we need to free Cuber. Matthew is here as well. We got Carl, Bruce, Sathius, MCap, Mike Caputo, and all that kinds of stuff. All right. I think we got Complete Geek TV is here. I love these guys as well. Chris Zeke is here. Hopefully your lovely wife is watching as well. Juicy Time made it to the show. We love Juicy Time. All right, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. All right, guys, let's start talking about some stuff here, and because I know you guys want to get to the main event, but before we do, oh, you like my hat? Yeah, this is my Resident Evil hat, Stars hat. I've had this for a little bit. I've worn this a bunch. I'm glad you like it. Goofyfoot gave us a $2 donation. Quote of the week: never go full retail. What is that from? Who said that? I must have missed that. Let's talk real quick. So guys, how many of you tuned into the big Saturday American Red Cross Arcade1Up YouTuber compilation 8-hour marathon live streams of picking up reservation cabinets? How many of you participated, and how many reservations did you make? Start throwing those numbers in the live chat for me. I would love to see your feedback on that. See how many people from my audience participated in that. I was invited to host a stream, but I had a lot of stuff going on. I was going to host a stream. I pulled out nearly at the last minute because I got some stuff going on, some important stuff, not bad stuff. It's some bad. I mean, health stuff and also job stuff and then other things. It was a mess. So I wasn't able to do it. So Michael B covered for me. He did 2 hours. He had to do 2 hours. Everyone else did 1. I was very proud of those guys. They put a lot of work in on that. I don't think you guys realize there were a lot of phone calls, a lot of meetings, getting that set up, trying to figure out the best way to do that to benefit everyone who was participating. Let's see here. Brian reserved 3 cabs. Juan got 2. Juicy Time didn't get any. Schned 2000 didn't get any. He was there the whole time. Many reservations. I saw a number of people commenting in like their Facebook forums and things like that, saying they watched all 8 streams, all 8 hours. That's pretty crazy, man. Was in the chat and managed to have a chance on a couple of cabs. There you go. Big Reese's here. He's leaking information. Reese, I need some receipts, though. You need to change your name to Big Receipts and put those receipts in your videos about these games lists for Time Crisis. Juicy Time ordered a T2. We're going to talk about that. Belize missed out on his Galaxy Cab. Okay, let's get all that off of there. All right, so I want to start talking about this stuff. So you'll notice, and this is one thing that I was a little disappointed in the event, is that a lot of the stuff that they were closing out and getting rid of and clearing out was the smaller stuff, right? And also some items that probably aren't as popular. Let's be honest, they're the main thing that's Arcade1Up sells that's the most popular is the 3/4 scale arcade cabinets. And sure enough, they had whatchamacallit, they had countercades, they had cocktail tables, they had a few cabinets like an Outrun. They did a Tron at the end, but the Tron was a very limited quantity. They did a whole ton of Big Blue, but minus that, it was a lot of small stuff, right? Like projectorcades and partycades and countercades and stuff like that. So so it was interesting that like none of the really big stuff that people really were hoping to get deals on had deals. And I think now we know why. They didn't do that for these cabinets is because all of the retailers went nuts today. Like everyone who sells Arcade1Up cabinets today, Best Buy, Amazon, Dell computers, which we'll talk about here in just a minute, that blew my mind. They all put on these big deals on these cabinets. And for instance, the 2 main ones are your Arcade1Up Ridge Racer, which I did a review on my channel. And I gave that cabinet a very positive review. I really like that cabinet, and I spent $700 on it. So if you guys can get it for $400, $300 less than me, you really got nothing to complain about, in my opinion, because that's a pretty good cabinet, in my opinion. I really liked the Arcade1Up Ridge Racer cabinet. Now, the Terminator 2 cabinet I did a review on. Wasn't a big fan of this cabinet. Even with some of the mods we did, we put on some toppers, we put on some stickers, we've put on a coin door, we've hidden the cable wires and things like that. But it's still just a 1-game cabinet. And sure enough, when I did my review, I said in my review, I would not recommend my viewers purchase this thing at full price, $700. I think for $400, it's easier to kind of swallow and get that cabinet, right? It's easier to kind of swallow and get that cabinet. Carl says T2 is a great price. We're going to talk about the Dell deal in just a minute. Don't worry, guys. Mad Mig just got Ridge Racer from his local Best Buy. Do they have it marked down in store as well? Did they match the online price? I would love to see that. Nooner got his for $3.99. So stoked. And it goes to show you guys that, you don't have to be first. You don't have to be first. All these products that come out, and they have these 6, 7, 8, 900, and hell, look at the new iArcade Gold Editions, $1,000 price tags. But guys, this shit's going to go on sale. If you don't want to spend or put that big of an investment in upfront to get it early, be one of the first to have it, just be patient. Wait for a sale, and good things will happen, right? Speak with your wallets. If this stuff sits around long enough, I've been saying this for 2.5 years, retailers are going to end up putting this stuff on sale. And sure enough, look what they did here. Also, The Simpsons got marked down. All the retailers, $399. Best Buy is clearancing out this Pong pub table, $450. So they're knocking $150 off. So that's pretty nice to see as well. Now, if you're looking for any of these cabinets in particular, I do have all the links for each individual cabinet in the video description below for all the retailers. So you guys will, you guys will be able to, get there easily just by watching this stream. And also, let's not forget, Retromania Wrestling from iArcade. So if you're looking to get in with iArcade and get their bundle, which is the bar top plus the base, which is usually $600, this is on sale for $450. So if you don't want to invest in a gold edition cabinet and are looking for a good deal on the original cabinet with some killer artwork on it, because I reviewed this as well, and this cabinet's got some amazing artwork on it, you guys might want to pick this up for $450. But I want to hear from you guys real quick before we change topics. What did you buy today? Did you get a Retromania cab? Did you get Simpsons? Did you get a Pong table, T2, Ridge Racer? What'd you guys pick up? Let's catch up real quick on the live chat. Raven says he doesn't think Arcade1Ups are worth full retail price to him. Shotgun Sean says you gotta admit some good deals for Arcade1Up. Yeah, guys, if you remember, usually around this time, around Father's Day, or shortly thereafter, I mean, I know we're a couple weeks after, is usually every year is when we see these stores like try to get rid of all the old stock because all the new Arcade1Up stock is coming in, right? So all the new Arcade1Up stuff is coming. Mitchell B says it's a good deal on the Retromania cab. I think it is. Jay Cut's got his Ridge Racers. Let's see here. Alpha Treon, $400 is the sweet spot for these things. Arcade1Up, these should be the regular prices. Yeah, we wish we were still living in what year is that? 2018? 2018 is when these things came out at $300. I swear it was 2018 or 2019. Bruce Cox says Simpsons was $199 at Walmart 2 months ago. That was a deal. Yeah, I have like no interest in the Simpsons cabinet, but anything is better than $600, right? Keith says he wants pinball to go on sale. Oh, at Best Buy they are doing the Attack from Mars pinball for $150 off, something like that. It's like $550 or something versus $700. So just a heads up there, guys. I think there's a link for that as well in the video description below. So I want to pull up something that actually blew my mind today. Let me see if I can find it real quick here, because I thought this was hilarious. 1 second. I hate it when I accidentally close things out. So where did it go? How many of you guys shop with Dell computers, right? Dell computers. Did you guys know that Dell sells Arcade1Ups? I had no idea that Dell sold Arcade1Up cabinets, and it kind of blew my mind. So let's pull up their thing here. So you guys got to see this. So Tron. So Dell computers, if you're looking to get a deal on the Tron Arcade1Up cabinet, let's go. Let's pull this up on the screen here for you. There's a link for this in the video description below. And they're selling Tron for $450. That's $150 savings. And with tax, depending on where you live, like I did a quick price for me, it's free shipping. If I did want to get this with tax, it was like $26 in tax. Now, some of you may have gotten some good deals on this through the Arcade1Up thing on Saturday. But actually, I think you might still have to pay shipping on those cabinets with Arcade1Up. I don't know how they're going to do shipping for all those reservations. That's a hot mess. I don't even want to dip my toe in. But you can get free shipping here. This is a good deal on the Tron cabinet. And link is in the video description below for that as well. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Make sure you guys check him out on YouTube. One of my favorite newer channels. I had no idea that Dell sold Arcade1Up cabinets. I had no idea. So apparently they do, man. Apparently they do. They're getting in on this action, right? And then, of course, Amazon has these deals as well. I do have links in the video description below if you wanted to pick up these cabinets off of Amazon. Ridge Racer, Terminator 2 for $399. What's nice there is you get the free shipping through Amazon, which is really cool. But then again, free shipping through Amazon, probably ship a little bit quicker because it's Amazon Prime if you have a Prime account. The links in the video description below are affiliate links, so if you do click on them, I might get 50 cents if you buy one of those cabinets using one of those links, so just a heads up there as well. Always want to be transparent with you guys up front with that. I don't have any affiliate links with any other retailers except for Amazon. I think pretty much like every YouTuber out there has affiliate links with Amazon, but Amazon does not pay very well. They do not pay very well. I think somebody bought $260 worth of items that I referred off of Amazon, and I got like $1.99. So yeah, Amazon affiliate links really help like those big channels, like huge channels, like $100,000 plus subscribers, and they have thousands of people using their links. Not guys like me. It's Ridge Racer. Love it. Love it. That's a really cool part of the game as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and pull up our, whatchamacallit? Our Vendor of the Week stuff. Now, I'm not going to do any goofy transitions or anything tonight because we have a lot of stuff to get through, and we want to get it done for you. So, our Vendor of the Week this week is Joe Sabo, and that's because one of the hottest new cabinets out there that people are picking up is your Dragon's Lair cabinet. So, Joe Sabo is selling a topper for the Dragon's Lair. Now, what's really cool about this is, as you can see from this picture right here, this bad boy will fit on your iArcade. It will fit on an original cabinet if you have an original cabinet, and it will also fit on the Arcade1Up Dragon's Lair. Now, if you have an original cabinet, he's charging $140. If it's an iArcade or an Arcade1Up, you click here or here, like I'm doing right here, and the price goes down to $110. It's still pretty expensive in my opinion. I mean, $110, but this is a unique dimensional topper. Let me kind of show you what he did here. I think he did a good picture. This one right here. Let's see right here. As you can see right here, might be hard to see on the stream. This is a unique dimensional topper. He found a way to print it. And then, of course, it will be backlit and lights up and all that kinds of stuff. So I think this would look pretty cool. And hell, guys, if you guys are spending money like crazy, what's another $110? I can't believe how much money people have been spending lately. But I think this thing looks pretty cool. Now, here's the only thing with Joe Sabo. Joe Sabo is a one-man operation. So sometimes his turnaround time isn't the greatest. But I've reviewed plenty of his stuff on my channel. And I firmly believe that the quality is usually worth the wait. I don't think I've had a product of his yet that I've been disappointed in. So just a heads up there. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think this looks cool? Now, what he had to do is he had to tweak the sword. As you can see right down here, you might be able to see it on the Arcade1Up. The original sword that's on the original cabinet artwork right here that they're trying to mimic, he had to tweak it to obviously avoid any kind of copyright infringement on the artwork. So but it's good enough where I don't think anyone would come up to you and say, that's the wrong sword. I think this looks really cool. So link to get one of these is in the video description below as well, in case you guys are interested in that. All right, my dudes, we are going to, I want to touch on these real quick. We got a lot to get done here. And I know my good friend Michael B is doing a show later tonight, although I didn't see him having his stream set up yet, but I think he is doing a show. $110 pays for groceries, but it could also pay for a light-up topper for your Dragon's Lair arcade machine. It would look cool on a Conan cab. Well, you never know. You never know. My next video is a review of Joe's topper. Bottom line, it looks awesome. So you have this one, Evil Genius? You have this actual topper for Dragon's Lair? Let us know. Look at Kato. That's the wrong sword. Now you're just messing with me, man. Now you're just messing with me. All right, guys, am I being too hard on this? I gotta ask you guys, am I being too hard on these? I sent out a tweet on my Twitter. If you guys are fans, followers of the channel, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram. It's the same thing as YouTube. It's just at PDubs Arcade Loft. Give us a follow. Links for those are in the video description below as well for the social media. But I sent out a tweet saying I thought that these cabinets looked ridiculous. And that I wasn't a fan of the appearance of these cabinets, right? And sure enough, I had a lot of people respond to my tweets telling me that I was nuts. Telling me that I was nuts. And that these cabinets look great. So I'm going to throw it out there to my viewers, guys. Are you guys impressed with the artwork and design of these Capcom Legacy Cabinets? Now, they have what you might call a midway shape. However, with the artwork and everything, I guess it kind of matches some of the conversion cabinets back in the day. And obviously this artwork is all original. They hired some big deal artists. 19K Fox says give him hell. Now, I did send out a tweet. I'm not going to show it right now. But I think I could live with this one. Like, the blue looks a little bit better in my opinion, right? And I like the control panel a little bit more. I like the marquee a little bit more. This one right here, I know the guy who worked on it is probably going to be upset, but I sent out a tweet saying, hey, here's a picture of this cabinet, and it was a picture of Jabba the Hutt. Or not Jabba the Hutt, I'm sorry, Pizza the Hutt from Spaceballs. Because when I look at this thing with the orange and the yellow and the red, it just makes me think of pizza. Maybe it's because I'm a big fat fatty. Who knows, right? Like, I'm just not as impressed with this one as with the other one. They look too busy. There you go. Yeah, sometimes less is more. I think a lot of the fighting game fans and maybe people who are a little bit younger than me would really be digging on this artwork. It's kind of similar to the Marvel vs. Capcom, but what I did like about the Marvel vs. Capcom artwork on that Arcade1Up cabinet was, whatchamacallit, it didn't feel like it was too much. I mean, it was literally just a bunch of heads, and I think this one's a little bit busier, right? Like, we got them in all different kinds of poses and all that kind of stuff. I think on the Marvel vs. Capcom, you just had like a straight line of heads, right? And I think one side was kind of gray and white, and the other side was colored in, if I recall. I just thought it looked better. This is just like, this is all over the place. This is all over the place. Too much on it. It's everywhere. All right. So it's not just me. There are some people agreeing with me, and there are some people that disagree with me, and that's totally fine. We all have our own opinions, but did you guys see this games list on here? Now all I see is Pizza the Hutt. That's right. That's all I see. I sent out a tweet. In fact, I think I put a post on my community thread on my YouTube channel with a picture of Pizza the Hutt. Check this out, guys. You got King of Dragons, Strider. They got rid of Street Fighter 1. They added Strider. Pro Gear, Battle Circuit, Super Puzzle Fighter, Saturday Night Slam Masters, Capcom Sports Club, Final Fight, Giga Wing, Captain Commando, Armored Warriors. A lot of these games are, two-player co-op games, beat 'em up games and stuff, as well as versus games. So that's kind of nice to see. They got rid of all the Darkstalkers games, though. You got Street Fighter. You got 3 Street Fighter games. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, I'm sorry. And then you have 11 other games, and they got rid of Darkstalkers to make room for all of these all of these games. So I think some of that would be fun. I really like Captain Commando. I think Captain Commando is a great game, and I really love Final Fight as well. So those would be some fun games. But for $500, as well as, let's not dive into the whole monitor gate situation. We don't want to spend 20 minutes talking about the monitor. These are obviously going to have the same 17-inch monitor that has plagued the recent Arcade1Up stuff. So, we probably, do we really want to spend $500 on it? So there we go. There we go. Let me know, guys. Am I being too hard on these? Are these good cabinets? Are these worth picking up? You guys let me know. I don't mind being wrong if I'm wrong. I'm just not a big fan of these. Myself personally. Should not have lost Darkstalkers. Per Papa Brad. I'll stick with Big Blue. They have the Darkstalkers trilogy. Yeah, like I got Big Blue out in the loft. I put the MVSX back in here. Big Blue's out in the loft. So, yeah. I'm probably going to keep Big Blue. Although these would be fun games, right? These are good games. They're good games. And I was just getting good at Darkstalkers. We'll have to see how they turn out upon delivery. Does Dragon's Lair save high scores? No, Dragon's Lair on the Arcade1Up does not save high scores. It does not. It does on the iArcade. If you don't have Big Blue, get one of these. That's what Big Reese says. More beat 'em ups over fighting games. And that's kind of true because, some people were like the Big Blue was fighter heavy. Yeah. Yeah, it's like to each his own, right? To each his own. All right, guys, we're going to start talking about some iArcade Space Invaders Gold Edition cabinet. I'm going to show you guys some stuff under the hood, get your impressions, and talk about it. But before I do, let's have a little discussion about this stuff. So, for instance, it all began with, let's take a peek. It began with Arcade1Up. Arcade1Up did a Space Invaders cabinet. How many of you owned this cabinet? How many of you still own this cabinet? Let me know in the live chat. And how do you think Arcade1Up did on their Space Invaders cabinet? It was a 40th anniversary cabinet, so you had a little bit of custom artwork on it. The traditional, big alien side panels, Space Invaders marquee, etc. Control panel. I mean, it looked like a Space Invaders cabinet because that is what Arcade1Up does, is they sell you nostalgia, right? I mean, from an artwork point of view, but not from a cabinet shape point of view. This was back in the days of the original shark fin cabinets. You had two Space Invaders games on here. You had Space Invaders Color, Space Invaders Black and White, and it had the loudest speaker in the history of Arcade1Ups. Let's see here. Doggy Dog says he still has his. Stephen Ramey says he still has his. Let's see here. Evil Genius says it's his first cab. He still loves it. So I actually still have this cabinet myself, guys. This cabinet is actually in my garage downstairs. Lord knows if it'll turn on after sitting in the garage after 2 years. It's been in the garage for 2 years of Arizona heat, right? Arizona heat. So there's no doubt the games were, the sound on this thing was obnoxiously loud, right? It was obnoxiously loud, but the cabinet looked cute. And if you're a Space Invaders fan, you probably really dug it. Didn't come with a riser. And they went on mega sales. That's correct, Bobby. These things got knocked down to, I think, like $49 back in the day, right? All right, and then you have your AtGames Legends Ultimate. So what's nice about the AtGames Legends Ultimate is built into the AtGames Legends Ultimate behind me, you have two Space Invaders games, right? Oh, here, let me turn that music off for you guys. That way it's not popping on all the time. You got the Space Invaders color version and Space Invaders DX, a totally different game, right? So you got two Space Invaders games built into your AtGames Legends Ultimate. And what they decided to do was sell you some Space Invaders panel artwork. But what's interesting about this is they didn't do a full artwork kit. No marquee, nothing. No control panel artwork. All they sell is just the side panels. And I couldn't get on board with this. I mean, I've covered a lot of AtGames stuff. I've covered a ton of AtGames stuff. But when this came out and they're like, yeah, we're not doing marquees. We're not doing control panels. We're not doing kick plate artwork. All we're doing is a couple of side panels. Like, I didn't think it looked good, right? I didn't think it looked good. And some people actually threw these on their cabinets, for instance. Like, here's a guy on Reddit. Here's what his cabinet looked like before. Here's what his cabinet looked like after with the side panel artwork, right? And then, but then you got that Tron control panel, Tron bezel, right? Look at this. Like, it doesn't match, in my opinion. Like, I thought this was a big mistake. If you're going to do artwork, go all out, right? Go all out, not just do the side panels. But the games themselves are on there, and the games are fun. Do you guys remember this? Do you guys remember this side panel? I think they still sell these. I think they do. Hobby Hands, his Walmart had Space Invaders for $1 back in the day. He missed out. Thanks so much for the super chat. I don't like the paper panels. Yeah. And then they ended up having to do the acrylics separate to hold that stuff on there, etc. The Bit Pixel is amazing. Look at the Vegas show behind PDubs. Now that is true. That is really true. So obviously I love my Bit Pixel LED marquees. They're really, really cool. So now you have Arcade1Up now. I'm sorry, not Arcade1Up. iArcade coming out with Space Invaders. So what's interesting about this cabinet, and let me start pulling up some pictures and stuff for you guys, because we're going to do some behind the scenes stuff on this stuff, is it's obviously not an original home arcade, or not. It's not an original Space Invaders cabinet. It does have custom artwork, at least especially on one side. Now, of course, all of this artwork has been approved by Taito, or Taito, however you want to pronounce it. They love this artwork. They signed off on it. And this obviously seems really, really, the pictures don't show how glossy and nice this artwork actually looks. If you guys own an iArcade, you guys know that the artwork is very glossy, very nice quality on these. So like on the one side panel, you do have your flying ship. You got this extra Space Invader monster guy right here. I actually kind of like this guy. It looks like he's bursting out of the cabinet. You have your cannon down here, as well as some of the ships. Excuse me, as well as some of the ships that you have to shoot. So like this is a really nice one, of course. And then here's your marquee. Now, when you guys take a look at this marquee, I'm going to give you guys some information about this marquee. Here's some more behind the scenes information. So if right here, that's dog hair, this stuff right here. I don't want you guys thinking that that is any kind of cracks in the marquee or anything. As you guys know, I have a house full of big dogs that shed like crazy. Look at the dog hair over here. I wipe these things off, and within seconds, this stuff is covered in dog hair, right? Covered in dog hair. But you'll notice that the marquee has a matte finish to it. It's not a glossy marquee, like kind of like what you see in like the Arcade1Up Terminator 2, as well as the Arcade1Up Mortal Kombat 30th cabinets, where they finally are reverse printing artwork on the marquee, and they have a nice glossy finish to them. So this marquee is more matte. It's not glossy. So when it's powered off, it doesn't look as like shiny and shimmery in your arcade room. But when it's lit up, it does look pretty nice, right? It does look pretty nice. So hopefully you guys found that little nugget of information beneficial. But it's a kind of a matte surface artwork to it, right? Now here's your control panel. One thing that I was a little disappointed to see is I was really hoping to see that center hole would be spaced appropriately, and possibly I was hoping to see we would have a hole there where we could add a spinner, or I'm sorry, a spinner or a trackball, because as you guys know, iArcade, this cabinet does have the USB ports. So when it comes to plugging in external controllers and peripherals, such as light guns, trackballs, USB controllers, spinners, all that stuff is going to be possible in the future. But where are you going to mount it, right? Where are you going to mount it? So I was a little disappointed to see it. However, the artwork, in my opinion, looks fantastic. I really like the artwork on this control panel. Oh, sorry, wrong button, guys. You will notice, though, and of course it does say officially licensed Taito product, which I really, really like as well, right? It's got that nice officially Taito signed off on it. However, I do have something. I'll go ahead and spoil some of my commentary for my review. I think we have a big miss with this control panel, guys. What do you think the big miss is with this control panel? Throw it in the live chat. What looks off on this control panel? Let's see if anyone can put it in the chat. That would have been a great idea for a spinner in the middle. Yes, that would have been a great idea. Yes, the original model will have accessories too, but those will be connected via Bluetooth, not via USB. Yep, we'll talk about the LCD display in a second. If you guys could change one thing on this control panel, what would it be? Exactly, Matthew. Button colors. So I know iArcade on all of their cabinets, no matter what artwork you get black or red buttons and joysticks. That's like the universal button colors and joystick colors that they've probably purchased in bulk from their suppliers. But when it comes to these gold edition cabinets, especially with the higher cost of these cabinets, and you're trying to, I mean, iArcade isn't trying to replicate original arcade machines the way Arcade1Up does. The fact that they're even putting this kind of artwork on a cabinet to kind of help make it fit better in a game room and help you, pull on some nostalgia. I think they could have gone all out here. I think we could have gone white sticks and buttons. And with the white sticks and buttons, it would have looked fantastic. I think it would have looked really, really good. Right up here, guys, that's the headphone jack. And these are like kind of like fake screw holes in the artwork. Because as you guys know, there's no screws that screw this thing down on the top. The screws are on the sides. So it's kind of interesting we got these screw holes here to kind of simulate a control panel. But I think I would have preferred white myself myself. Minus that, I love the artwork on the control panel. I think what I'm going to have to do is change these out myself, right? Change these out. There's your USB ports. So what's really interesting is how are these when it comes to plugging in a USB controller. So for instance, Glenn's Retro Show. Make sure you guys subscribe to my buddy Glenn on Glenn's Retro Show. You'll notice he did a video the other day where he tried plugging in a USB controller, and the USB controller would plug in and it could like detect up, down, left, right, but his buttons weren't working. Well, that firmware update should be going in, I believe, this week. Uh, that's again one thing I was waiting on for my review. So the next time he plugs in a controller, as well as myself, you'll be able to plug in secondary, like, 8-bit do controllers and stuff if you want, and they'll work right out of the box with all the games that you have on the cabinet. So if you wanted to, instead of crowding around the machine, have somebody next to you playing with a controller, you could. iArcade really doesn't have any 3 or 4 player games that I recall, but that also opens up the possibility for them to do that. Are the USB cables inside just cable extenders? Yes, they are. We'll show that off a little bit more later. Now, you do have your sound by JBL, which we're going to dive into that here. I got a video for you. So here's your marquee lit up. I think this picture actually kind of captures it pretty well to what it looks like when it's actually lit up. And let me know what you guys think. As you can see, when it's turned off, because it has that matte finish, it doesn't have that like nice glossy look that all your other marquees have that you walk past in your arcade, right? But when it's turned on, it lights up and it looks really good. It looks really good. Let me know what you guys think about this this marquee. Now, what's nice about this is there is modding potential where you could move those around where you see fit, Nooner. We'll have to do that in another video. You could actually move those around. It's just, it's got a dedicated spot out of the box. But you could, the cables for those USB ports are really long. You can move those and drill a hole, etc. You can make that happen. Mad Mig says, lucky for me, the black and red buttons match beautifully with the Double Dragon. Marquee looks very nice. I'm digging it. Mark Street, hey all, stoked to see this machine. Yes, I hope even though I'm showing this stuff and giving you guys some commentary, I hope you guys still watch the full review. So here's obviously your 2 side panels for your bar top. There's your control panel in the middle. And then right here is your speakers. Now this is a big, heavy metal case right here. This isn't some kind of cheap case holding these 2 speakers in. So definite. It's not like it's a piece of wood, I think, which is what was on the Gen 1. Like this is a really nice frame that holds these heavy speakers in, right? Now it says sound by JBL, but the speakers themselves are not JBL speakers. It's important to remember that the speakers in this thing are pretty much the same 100-watt speakers that come with your iArcade today, if you own one. However, this particular cabinet has the JBL Harman Audio EFX software, which it's incredible. I gotta tell you this, guys. The games I've been playing since I got this cabinet, they sound absolutely amazing. And the hardest part is, how do I capture this on camera for a review? Like, play like Retromania Wrestling on one cabinet. And what's funny is the speakers on this thing make the other cabinet like the other cabinet. You're like, wow, it's just loud. That cabinet's just loud. But this one is loud and it's clear. It sounds like I'm in a movie theater. Jong wasn't BSing about the JBL Harman software. I was standing in front of this thing playing In the Hunt, which is like that old ass submarine game. And I literally felt like I was in the war. I mean, that's how loud these things are and how amazing the sound is, right? The sound is like going all over you. So I absolutely love the speakers on these things. So hopefully that helps. Here's another picture of that. Here's obviously, now here's your left side panel. Here is your middle side panel. I'm sorry, your middle panel. And here's your right side panel. Again, I really like seeing that on the left side panel. We have kind of the original Space Invaders cabinet artwork, but then obviously on the middle and on the right hand side, it's different. So I'm a nitpicky guy, right? I'm a nitpicky guy. I want to tell you guys, this looks beautiful in person. It really does. But I'm nitpicky, right? So what I would have loved to see is this all to be one big piece, you know, like one big landscape that goes all the way around from left to center to right. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like one big picture split up into three. However, that's just me being nitpicky. Even without them doing that, I think this looks great. I think this looks great. So you guys let me know what you guys think. And of course, everything is made with the same 3/4 inch MDF, where like Arcade1Up and At Games, they use like 1/2 inch. So iArcade, they're thicker, they're heavier, they're denser boards, etc. So, but this looks pretty cool. Here's a little more of an angle without so much glare from the window behind me. I really like these. I really like these. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, yeah, and of course it's going to come in 2 boxes. It's going to come in 2 boxes. Now let me grab some videos here for you guys because I want to show you guys some interesting stuff. Whoop. Whoop, hold on. Whoop, hang on. Hopefully that's not playing in the background. Is it? Nope. All right. All right, let's turn that off. All right. Sorry, guys. All right. Did I put a picture of the PCB in here? You guys got to see this PCB. Let's have this going here. All right, so here is your PCB board. Unfortunately, I made a movie mistake and I held the camera vertically. My apologies for that. But what's interesting is on this particular cabinet, obviously you have the Ethernet port. Right here is your 30-pin connector, to connect to the monitor. I'm sorry, to your control deck, right? This port right here, it's very, very, what's the word? It's kind of difficult to get the cable in there. You know what I mean? You guys got to be careful. Like I'll point that out in my review. That port is at a weird angle, right? It's at a weird angle. So I didn't like that. Everything else, it was so easy to plug into. You have your Ethernet, you have your what you call it, your power, you have 2 ports for your speakers, etc., and all that stuff. And of course, the USB port as well on this thing. Let's see if we got anything better going on right here. So this gives you a little bit under the hood, a little bit under the hood. Hopefully you guys are finding this beneficial. And there's your PCB. Now, what's interesting about the PCB is you'll notice that the main chip, you can't see it on the PCB. I think it's mounted underneath, so you would actually have to unscrew these screws, flip it over, and get to the chip that's underneath. But I think the main chip is underneath on this particular thing. But I'm sorry, not Arcade. I'm so used to saying all these company names. iArcade has confirmed though it's the same chipset, same whatchamacallit, same power. You know, it's not like one machine completely obliterates what the other machine can do. But they've also combined the audio into a single board versus before they had the audio on a separate board. Well, now it's just one board right here. And these 2 little plugs right here is what your speakers plug into right here. So it's a single board, but same chipset, no more, no less powerful than the original device. Let me catch up on the live chat right here. Hopefully this stuff is beneficial for you guys. How many golden tickets were put into these shipments? I don't know. Nope, same chipset, same chipset. People are going to be bending those pins. Yeah, you got to be careful putting this in. It was very difficult to plug in. You voided your warranty by doing that? Well, you know. I wanted to see. I wanted to see. All right, so let me let's do this. Where is it? All right, so I want to show you guys something that I'm actually very, very happy about. So we're going to pull up another video right here. Let's go screen. Okay, so we're going to show you the inside. We're going to go under the hood of these devices. And I'm going to show you some stuff here. My apologies on the quality of the video. Again, this video was taken with my cell phone. This was not taken with my really nice camera that I use with my reviews. I was kind of pointing out the artwork, but let's get to the good stuff here. All right, let's get this thing flipped over and flip it over. Don't mind all my wife stuff. All right, so as you can see, it is the same speakers that come included with the original cabinet. Different connectors though, and those connectors plug directly into the PCB on the back of the monitor. So very heavy wooden and metal frame, very sturdy. I'm not worried about these speakers falling out, despite the fact that they rumble. Okay, let's take a look at the guts of this control panel here for you guys, and let's flip it over. That's me whining that I wish I didn't have the whatchamacallit, that it didn't have the spinner. Okay, so let's see if we can get this paused right here. All right, so you'll notice that on this control panel, they've had installed octagonal gates. So you do get your octagonal gates versus I think the other iArcade had the square gates. You got your Sanwa clone buttons. These are going to be very easy for you to swap out if you don't want to use them, but I actually think they're okay. Like, I don't have an issue with them. The joysticks themselves have been improved, and the original joysticks on the original iArcades, even the ones where they gave you guys remember they gave us a real Sanwa joystick on those arcade cabinets. Well, they gave us a real Sanwa joystick, but they only put a 2-pound spring in, right? So the joysticks are very loosey-goosey on the original iArcade edition cabinets. These joysticks have a 4-pound spring inside of them, so it's a bit tighter, not super tight, not like a 6-pound spring or etc. But it's like it's good enough that you could feel the difference between both cabinets. It just feels better. You know what I mean? Heavier springs always feel better. So that's nice to see as well. So, and the joysticks, even though the joysticks are Sanwa clones with the heavier spring, with the really nice bat tops, I really like the bat tops that they have on here. Everything just feels better. Like, I kept clicking on this, and then I would go to my Retromania cabinet, and it would be like, instead of feeling a spring, you feel like a thunk. Like if you push the joystick to the left or right as it hits the side, like it actually feels like it's only touching the micro switch, and then just kind of snapping back. Does that make sense? So yeah, so it's nice that they put some heavier springs in these bad boys as well. So let's see right here. What else do we got for you guys? Now, when it comes to Space Invaders itself, so as you can see behind me, I got Space Invaders running on that machine. I actually have Space Invaders now running on all my machines, and the reason why is when you get the Space Invaders cabinet, it comes with a code to download Space Invaders. So I went ahead and I put in the code. And the game came through, right? The game came through. I talked with iArcade, and although the game is there and it's ready to go, like they've been telling you guys, they've been waiting for Taito to give them the green light so they could release it in the store for everyone to purchase and enjoy. So I kind of like found a back way to get my hands on the game early. Like, it's not like iArcade sent it to me early. It literally was, I typed in the code from the manual and it popped through, and then I had to reach out to them like, hey, it worked. So what's funny is, and I know a lot of people are very frustrated about the wait. When you think about it, guys, like look at Numbskull with their quarter arcade Space Invaders cabinet. They've been waiting like nearly a year as well to get that thing released, right? And part of the delay too is waiting on Taito for them as well. So it's like, why is Taito so slow? Come on, man. we all want to play Space Invaders, right? But the game, of course, is really, really good. And here's what I can show you. So, again, I'm always trying to find sneaky ways for you guys. So they told me that because Taito hasn't signed off on the game, that I can't show you guys new footage of the game, right? However, I am going to show you guys footage of the game because Michael was on on my podcast show. He was on Multicade Mondays and he was showing off the game, and sure enough, Guys, the game looks exactly like this, just like that stream we did a couple of months ago. You have all the different options where you can pick the moon backdrop, you can pick the bezels, you can pick, if you want it to be in color, if you want it to be in black and white, you can mix and match it any way you want. There's like basically, if you do the math, I think there's like 9 different combinations or something of ways you can play this particular game on this cabinet. So just a heads up there. Now this stream was already done, so you know what I mean. It worked. Tell us the code. Oh, come on, Ronsky. I can't tell you the code, but it plays great. And sure enough, I did see options for online leaderboards as well. So I know some people were curious about that. So, but yeah, we found a loophole there, guys. It looks the same. I mean, it's Space Invaders. I know a lot of people are like, we need to see Space Invaders, but guys, it's Space Invaders. Like, we've seen it 100 times before. What I can tell you, what is nice about it is the ability to hot swap, and you can do it mid game and switch like backgrounds and colors and things like that. Like you're not like kind of like locked in at all times, which is really cool. So what's nice is having all those versions built into one game, right? Into one game. How does the game play? It plays beautifully. You know what I mean? It plays, and I mean, Space Invaders. Space Invaders plays well on the ACT games. It plays well on the Arcade1Up Space Invaders that they did. I mean, how can you do that? How can you do that? What's going on here? Michael B. the Game Genie says he loves me. What's going on, Mike? Am I running over? I think the game is going to come out very, very soon, especially because they're starting to send out demo units, review units, as well as they're going to be setting out whatchamacallit? Customer units, right? Customers, there's some on a boat coming over soon, and some of those cabinets are Space Invaders, right? So we need to make sure that other people have those cabinets. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this information. Now, what we're going to do as well is, because I'm running out of time, is do us a favor, guys. Make sure you check out the iArcadians on YouTube. They got a podcast show coming out this week. I told them I would come on the podcast show, and we're going to have the cabinet here in the loft, and we're going to set up, and hopefully we'll be able to demonstrate some Ethernet online gameplay, as well as do some other, show you some more stuff as well, and all that stuff. Where is the updated Space Invaders with the techno music they teased over a year ago? I haven't heard anything about it myself. Where are you on the leaderboards, PDubs? Well, if I'm the only one playing, I guess I'm the best in the world, just like CM Punk. Yeah, it's a simple game, but dude, guys, they have poured, I will admit, Bill, excellent comment here. Instead of just saying, here it is in black and white, here it is in color, and you got to spend $5-10 and buy it in our store, here it is, and throw it on there. They have spent a lot of love on the game. It's really cool. Nope, you good, just saying hi. Okay, Mike, you worried me there. Thanks so much, Rody. Yeah, I don't think people don't realize how huge an arcade game Space Invaders isn't. Space Invaders, I'll have to double check my stats, but isn't it the number 2 or number 3 largest revenue generating arcade game of all time, behind Pac-Man? It might be number 2 behind Pac-Man, or it might be number 3 behind Pac-Man and another. But if you guys are, I mean, technically, it's a AAA title. It's one of the most popular arcade games in history, right? In history. So here's what I can tell you guys about iArcade. If you guys are fans of iArcade or interested in iArcade, is when they went through that Mutant Football League thing. Was that last year? Feels like it was so long ago. Where they announced a game, and then prior to the game being released, they found a bug that they couldn't fix, which prevented them from launching the game. I think that really worried them, because if you guys remember, they had the developers of the Mutant Football League game come on the show. They had the original voice actor announcer from the game come on. I mean, they went all out. I'm sure they spent a lot of money on those guys getting that stuff to happen. Put on a huge show. We were all hyped to play online Mutant Football League against each other. this was before Arcade1Up announced NFL Blitz. We're like, well, at least iArcade is going to give us that, and it's kind of fun. It's a similar type game, but with monsters. And when that went to kaput, and it was like kind of egg on their face, like they have been no secrets. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, all secrets, right? Like they don't share anything until it's like 100% definitive. And you have your pluses and your minuses, right? Because news helps generate hype and excitement among your community, and news and reveals and things really just make people excited about the product and what's coming down the road. By them not doing that, it protects them from having egg on their face by, you know, like if they came and said, you know what guys, we got Double Dragon Neon, we got Streets of Rage 4, we got Shredder's Revenge all locked up coming soon, people would be super excited and love it and be super happy about it. But then what if they had to come back just like Mutant Football League in the future and be like, oh my God, guys, it's not going to happen. There was some kind of technical glitch with the developer of the game or the third party developer or something, and a bug that iArcade can't fix. Like the original code needs to go in and fix it. From if I recall, I mean, it was almost a year ago, and they refused to do it. So because they didn't do it, the game can't come out until it comes out. So I feel bad for iArcade because, you know, you guys know me. I love hype and excitement and saying, hey, this game's coming soon. But then again, if they kept doing that and had more MFL MFs or F ups, whatever acronym you want to use, I think that would really, really hurt their business. It would really hurt their business. So yeah, it's a catch-22. It's a catch-22. I'm sure iArcade has signed some stuff and they got some stuff they're working on. I mean, Michael's told me, he's like, we got these monster games, big titles, and they want to scream them from the rooftops, but they can't because of, you know, they don't want to go through this. That was probably the biggest thing with iArcade since they launched. Like all these companies have made what you might call mistakes. And that was probably the biggest mistake or biggest miss. iArcade didn't even announce Donut Dono in advance, and that was a big game for them. Because, yeah, a lot of times games will sell themselves, right? And Donut Dono is a great game. And then Retro, this is the catch-22 we were talking about. The problem with not announcing anything is there's no hype, right? And then and then I see people saying, I'm going to sell my iArcade because I'm bored of the games that I have. I don't want to buy anymore, and I don't know what's coming in the future. And because I don't know what's coming in the future, I don't know if I should keep this cabinet in my house. Some of these home arcade companies, I don't think they realize that these cabinets take up real estate in our homes. A lot more real estate than a little video game cartridge, right? Like a video game cartridge, you can stick that on the shelf, forget about it for 10 years. But these cabinets, you're going to trip over them. You're going to hang your laundry on them. You guys know what I'm saying? All right, there you go. So yeah, hopefully they can find a way to find a happy medium of making announcements. Like, you know, work out the back end deals, get something tested on the system, make sure it'll run on the system, and then make the announcement even before release. I mean, I would love to see that. I would love to see that myself personally. That way people get news and we know it's coming, blah, 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 blah. Yep, there you go. There you guys go. All right, so I try to give you guys a little bit of a background sneak peek because I promised my viewers I was going to release my review, but I'm waiting for the firmware update for my iArcade for this review cabinet that they sent me. Make sure you guys tune into the iArcadians. I'll be there helping those guys out. We're going to show off this cabinet on their show as well as some other new stuff depending on what firmware updates go through this week. And then, of course, I'll have my full review for the cabinet. Now, there are, like I do when I review all my products, there are plenty of opportunities for improvement, as well as there are a lot of great things about this cabinet as well to talk about. And all that'll be included in my official review, which I'm determined to make a 10-minute video. I don't want it to be 16 minutes. 10 minutes. I'm trying to get it down to 10 minutes. So there you guys go. Hopefully this was good for you guys. It was good for me. I feel better. I didn't know we were doing a therapy session. Michael B. the Game Genie is going to be going live very soon. I think Justin Console Kits is going to guest star on his show. They're going to be talking about more predictions for Arcade1Up, but it's actually a really interesting discussion. He gave me a teaser about it on the phone earlier, and I told him, I said, that's actually a really cool idea to talk about. So if you guys are fans of Michael B. the Game Genie, make sure you guys head over to his channel. Tell him PDubs sent you. He set up his stream late, so my stream's not going to automatically send you over there like it typically does, like an automatic redirect. So you guys are going to have to search for him. He's not hard to find. And go join his show. Tell him PDubs sent you. iArcadians will be Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Okay. We will be back next week with a all new show. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the podcast, do me a favor, share it with your friends, tell people about it. Give us a thumbs up on the way out. And as always, my dudes, thank you for subscribing. Don't forget it's Monday, and before you go to bed tonight, go play your Multicades.